What if that rotisserie chicken you grabbed on your way home, or that rollback steak you thought was a steal, might actually be a warning in disguise? What if I told you that some of America's biggest chains have been caught bleaching meat to hide the smell of rot, selling listeria contaminated meals, or literally doubling the weight on the price tag? Today, we are looking at the 5 grocery stores with the most alarming records in their meat departments. We're using data from recent investigations, USDA enforcement reports, and consumer whistleblowers to show you why your bargain dinner might be a health disaster. Walmart. Walmart is the undisputed king of retail, but when it comes to their meat department, low prices often mean a dangerous compromise in quality and safety. In a staggering discovery, Consumer Reports tested store brand chicken from major retailers and found that Walmart's chicken had some of the highest bacteria counts in the country. We're talking about dangerous pathogens like Salmonella and Campylobacter. In some cases, the levels were so high that experts warned the meat could cause illness even if cooked to recommended temperatures. But why was it so risky? Investigators have found Walmart meat sitting in cases at 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, well above the safe limit of 40 degrees. That small difference is enough to supercharge bacterial growth in just a few hours. And if the bacteria doesn't get you, the pricing might. In early 2026, a whistleblower named Jimmy Rigg went viral on TikTok for weighing Walmart's meat in store. He found that many packages were grossly mislabeled, with one package of chicken labeled as 4.66 pounds, actually weighing only 2.37 pounds, meaning the customer was overcharged by nearly $10. Food Lion. While Food Lion is a staple in many communities, its meat department was the subject of one of the most famous and stomach-turning investigative reports in history. Journalists from Primetime Live used fake identities to get jobs in Food Lion's meat departments to investigate tips of deceptive practices. What they captured on secret video was horrifying. Employees were grinding expired beef together with fresh beef to extend its shelf life. Even more disturbing was the claim that workers were bleaching meat to mask the smell of spoilage so it could still be sold to the public. While the legal battle that followed focused on the journalists' methods, the details of meat being refreshed with chemicals remain a permanent stain on the chain's reputation. To this day, shoppers at Food Lion struggle to find clean meat, with Consumer Reports noting that secret shoppers could find zero meat or poultry indicating it was raised without antibiotics at surveyed locations. Stop and Shop. For those in the Northeast, Stop and Shop is a household name, but its reputation for meat quality has taken a nosedive lately. In the summer of 2025, an investigation in New Jersey revealed that Stop and Shop was selling spoiled meat. Investigators found that the store was labeling products with the display date instead of the actual packaging date. Even worse, they were extending expiration ranges beyond what wholesalers recommended. On social media platforms like Reddit, customers and employees have reported finding pallets of meat and dairy left out in the aisles, warm to the touch, rather than being immediately refrigerated. In blind taste tests, Stop and Shop's house brand products consistently rank at the bottom. When you combine poor flavor with a lack of transparency on expiration dates, you have a meat department that simply cannot be trusted. Kroger. Kroger is one of the largest traditional grocers in the U.S., but they have faced significant hurdles regarding pathogen outbreaks and misleading labels. In 2019, Kroger had to issue a massive recall for ribeye steaks and ground beef across 3 states due to E. coli 0.157:H7 contamination. This particular strain can cause severe, life-threatening illness. What made it worse was the lack of transparency. The company provided very little information on how the contamination was discovered or which suppliers were involved. Kroger-owned subsidiaries like Ralph's have been cited by the USDA for prohibited activity, which usually involves failing to properly notify customers about recalls or continuing to sell products that should have been pulled from the shelves. Kroger's Farmland brand has also been caught using unapproved labels like no antibiotic growth promotants. While this sounds good to a health conscious shopper, it's a misleading claim. The USDA noted this label isn't authorized because it allows the animals to be pumped full of antibiotics for disease prevention, the same practice used in crowded factory farms, while making consumers think the meat is clean. Albertsons. Albertsons and its massive web of subsidiaries, including Safeway, Vons, and Jewel Osco, have recently been at the center of one of the most concerning recalls in recent history. In late 2024, Albertsons was forced to recall 12 types of ready meals and deli items due to potential Listeria monocytogenes contamination. This was part of a larger recall involving over 11 million pounds of meat from a supplier called Bruce Pack. Listeria is particularly terrifying because food contaminated with it doesn't look or smell spoiled. Symptoms can take up to 70 days to appear, making it incredibly difficult to trace. For pregnant women, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems, a Listeria infection from a simple chicken taco can be life-threatening or result in stillbirth. Much like Kroger, the Albertsons family of stores, specifically Safeway, has been criticized for how they handle these crises. Most shoppers aren't even aware of active meat recalls at Safeway. Buying meat here means you have to be your own detective just to stay safe. So, where does that leave you? You don't have to give up meat, but you do need to stop assuming that big box convenience equals safety. Firstly, support local butchers. Smaller, local shops often have direct relationships with farms, fewer middlemen, and much stricter handling protocols. You'll pay a bit more, but the peace of mind and the quality are worth every penny. Second, read the labels carefully. USDA organic is a high-level guarantee of no antibiotics. Natural is a meaningless term. It only refers to how the meat was processed after the animal was raised, not the drugs it was given while alive. Antibiotic-free is actually an unapproved label that the USDA doesn't even authorize, yet it still shows up in some stores. Third, follow the 20-minute rule. In giant stores like Walmart, your meat might sit in your cart for 20 minutes while you finish shopping. Grab your meat last, and if your drive home is longer than 20 minutes, use a cooler bag, especially in the summer. At the end of the day, meat isn't just another item on your grocery list, it's what you feed your family. It deserves more respect than what these 5 chains are giving it. Behind the rollback signs and the fancy lighting, there's always a story. Make sure it's one you can live with. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments. Which grocery store meat department do you trust the least?